game, you need the desire, the hunger, the will to win.
Hit so hard that not
This is what drives you to finish,
Pedraza goes untouched into the end zone.
to dominate. When it's one-on-one on this field, the one with more heart, the one with true will, one who simply refuses to lose, will be victorious. East side, strong side.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas, as K-West brings you another exciting installment of Friday Night Lights. Tonight, it is your Weslaco East Wildcats taking on the Los Fresnos Falcons. I'm Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. Coach, third district ball game here on the line. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, the toss was won by Los Fresnos. They deferred. Weslaco East will return. So some of the questions people are asking right now: how do you run an offense without Freddy Gonzalez? How do you run an offense without Roy Pedraza? How do you run an offense without J.C. Vargas? And we're about to find out what that answer is with Big Richard Lefevre leading them onto the field following this kickoff.
Well, you know, both teams come in with similar records. Well, it's identical records, better yet. They both are 3-2 overall, 1-1 in district play. Los Fresnos has wins over Mac High, McAllen Memorial, and Harlingen South. They have losses to Ed Chelsea and San Benito. The Weslaco East Wildcats have wins against Sherryland, Edinburgh Economides, Weslaco. They've lost to McAllen Memorial and to San Benito last week. So tonight, of course, Weslaco East needs to win so they can stay on top in that win column. And of course, keep their playoff hopes alive in this district because they've still got a lot of football to play the rest of the season.
Yeah, realistically, to go to the playoffs in this district, you're going to need to have 3 losses or less, or you're going to force yourself into a tie, and sometimes that takes the control of the playoffs out of your hands because you're looking at positive points or head-to-head matchup. So we'll see how that all goes, but right here we go. About to start at District 32 6A. And not to mention, we got Big Vinny Berry up top on the camera.
Yeah, Vinny bringing us all the exciting shots from atop tonight. On the kick for Los Fresnos is going to be big number 29, Adriana Torres. We've got 3 guys back deep for the Wildcats. Hector Signs Bones, as we all know him, is one of them that is back there. Our West East Wildcats are in white uniforms today, white pants, white jerseys, black numbers. And the kick is away. And it is going to be taken by Bones at the 60-yard line. Going to look for some blocking up the middle. He's going to have first contact about the 25 and brought down at about the 28-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will begin their first offensive series of the night.
Yeah, not a bad return there. They're going to start at about 28, 29-yard line. Looks like almost right in the middle of the field also. So let's see what Coach Brigette has planned. Do you go back to basics, Joe? You know, people are asking me these questions all week, and being honest, I had a volleyball game during the week, and I just didn't get a chance to get the answers. And I don't know if Coach Brigette had the answers to give me anyway, but maybe you go back to basics.
Well, we're about to find out, Coach, because here come the Wildcats for their first offensive series of the night. Looks like Lefevre is going to come out to be your quarterback. He's going to be under center. We're going to have an I formation. And the handoff is to the first guy through, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. He's going to just roll over for maybe 1 yard. And
I believe that was Bonus with the carry.
28?
Jared Bornias, number 40.
Okay.
I believe with that first carry.
Burnias. Jared Burnias.
Yes,
Okay.
Jared.
We got Jared Burnias in the backfield.
Number 44 is also back there. That is Randy Cardoza, and can't tell who's deep in the eye.
I think it's going to be Jose Serna. No, it's going to be 29, and that's going to be Derek Ibarra. We were talking about him earlier today, Coach, that he's back on the squad. Of course, didn't make summer workout programs this year, but of course, you know, with kids and schedules and vacations and all kinds of things, you just never know what happens. But we know Derek Ibarra played a little bit last year, and he finally made his way back onto the field this year as well. So he's back on the field. And this time we're going to have Lefevre along with Randy Cardoza in the backfield. So again, a lot of questions going to be answered here in this first offensive series. They're going to line up 3 men to the right, 1 to the left, and send 1 in motion. Lefebvre looking to his right. He is under pressure. The ball is out of his hands and just too high for the intended receiver, and that is Alvaro Medrano was his target on that 3rd down play.
Yeah, you fake the jet sweep, then you try to throw the ball back to the other side. It's 4th down. It looks like they're going to shift. You got to remember, Richard is also the punter, unless that's changed. We'll see. They're in a crazy formation. We'll see if Los Fresnos can line up to it, and they do.
And now they shift to a punt formation. Back deep for the Falcons is going to be Isaiah Muniz. Snap is away, and looks like Lefebvre will punt it, and it's a good one. It hits at about the 38-yard line, takes a Wildcat bounce to about the 35-yard line, and it's finally going to be resting at about the 27 because one of the Wildcats did down it right there. I think he thought it may have touched one of the Falcon defenders, and so he thought it was a free ball, so he took it to the house, but of course that was down at the 28-yard line. So that's where the Falcons will take over on their first offensive series of the night.
So the Wildcats come out, go 3 and out, punt the ball. Let's see if the defense can keep them in until they kind of get their rhythm offensively.
Charles Chapa, the quarterback for the Falcons. He's got 1 man in the backfield, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the bottom of the screen. Handoff is to the running back, Matthew Medina, looking for some running room off the right side. Finds a little bit, going to pick up maybe 2 or 3 yards. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah, I think Ramsey Vasquez comes out of his secondary spot on that jet sweep there, and looks like they're going to have about 3-4 yards maybe. I'm not really sure where they're spotting it right now.
Well, there's a flag on the play. I never saw the flag come out, and it's holding against the Falcons, so that's going to take them back 10 yards.
Well, that's a good way to start a defensive series. Is 1st and 20 is a lot easier to play defense on than 2nd and 6.
So this one's going to go back all the way to the 17-yard line. So it'll be a repeat of 1st down, but this time 20 yards to go for the 1st down. Medina in at running back along with the quarterback, Charles Chapa. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Handoff is to Medina. Medina looking again for some running room on the right side. This time he's able to pick up about 6 yards, and that's going to bring up a 2nd down and maybe about 14.
You know, it looks to me like the Wildcat defensive front has been told do not over-penetrate. They were really doing a good job of holding their ground and running laterally to the ball. Don't open up any holes inside for the quarterback to keep on a read play.
So this time the Falcons will switch up their offensive formation, sending 3 receivers out to the right. Medina still in the backfield with the quarterback, Chapa. This time he's on the right side of Chapa, and this time the handoff is to Medina again. This time to the left side, looking for some running room, trying to cut up the field, and he's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on that play to about the 26-yard line. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 13.
And, you know, they're not running a huddle, but they're not in any hurry right now. They're just not allowing the Wildcats to make any defensive substitutions. You got one group looking at their sideline, you got the other group looking at their sideline, and they're ready to play here. And doubles, Joe.
So you got 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Medina in the backfield with quarterback Chapa. Snap. Chapa drops back, looking to his left. Ball is in the air. Ramsey may have an interception there, but just a little too far for him to handle. But Ramsey had his eye on that football.
Well, he got some pressure inside. I think maybe that was Jacob Bonda getting some pressure out of a 3-man line. And it's going to be a good defensive series for the Wildcats. And here comes the punter for Los Fresnos, number 15. Looks like J.J. Sanchez is the punter.
And they're going to send Ramsey Vasquez to return this one from Sanchez. Ramsey's going to be standing at about the 42-yard line waiting for this punt. We've got 8:48 to go here in the first. Both teams have had 1 shot on offense, and neither one of them able to capitalize or make anything happen. So this is the punt for the Falcons.
Left-footed punter.
Taking Ramsey back, and Ramsey's going to let it go out of bounds, and it's going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 30-yard line, and we'll see where they spot this one.
Well, that was a nice left-footed punt. Got a spiral. Going to be about the 31, Joe. It'll be 1st down Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats will come out for their second offensive series here of the evening. Coach, of course, like you were mentioning earlier, just a lot of questions around this Wildcat offense. Of course, with 3 big injuries this season, we just never know what Coach Burgett was going to do. And as you mentioned earlier, maybe he wasn't even quite sure what he was going to do tonight.
Well, you've got people, and he talks about the next man up, the next man up. You're penciled in life. You're penciled in on the team. Be ready to go when you get your shot. And here we go. We get another different formation. Let's see how we go here.
Randy Cardoza in the backfield with Lefevre. 3 receivers down to the bottom of your screen. They're going to send one in motion. And it's a jet sweep going to the left to the top of the screen. And the receiver, Derek Ibarra, not able to shake any tackles. And he may be dropped for no gain on that play.
Yeah, they're trying to get lateral. And right now, Los Fresnos is doing a good job. They're just saying, well, okay, right now they're going to run between the tackles. So they're turning and running defensively and doing a good job of it. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
So, yeah, he does get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And a different formation for the Wildcats. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the top of your screen. Nobody in the backfield with Richard Lefevre. No huddle. He looks over to the sideline looking for a call. Now he's going to drop back, looks to his left, throws the ball, and it is intercepted. But we do have a flag on the play. With the pick is Johnny Gadengo.
Well, they got Ramsey Vasquez out there stacked behind Jaime Banuelos. Jaime breaks to the post. The defender cuts underneath it, intercepts the ball. Here's the question. Is the penalty on the tackle after the interception? I think is when the penalty took place. But obviously not. I'm wrong.
They're coming back. So
defensive holding, Joe.
Defensive holding. So we're going to march some yardage off against the Falcons and retain possession of the ball. So you could hear Coach Burgett probably sighing there, of a big sigh of relief. So we're going to start off with a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Back in the backfield is going to be Josh Gonzalez with the quarterback, Richard Lefevre. As you mentioned earlier, Ramsey's going to be stacked on the left side, the top of your screen. 2 receivers to the bottom. Lefevre's going to keep it, but there is a flag.
Yeah, I think Josh Gonzalez got a little rolling start trying to be the lead blocker for Big Richard, and now it's going to be 1st and 15, or is that, yeah, it's 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10. So right now they're trying to, you got guys playing different spots than they're usually playing. You see Alvaro Medrano in more on offense. You see Ramsey Vasquez and Jaime Banuelos in more on offense. And that's what you're going to have to do, I think, to create some offense.
So here we go, 1st and 15. We still have Josh Gonzalez in the backfield. He's going to stay to block. Lefevre looking to his left. He's got a receiver. That's Ramsey Vasquez with a great grab. And that's going to be about a 11-yard pickup. And it's going to make... No, it's going to be 15 yards on that play. He's going to pick up a 1st down there.
Well, here's the nice thing. They've been grooming Ramsey to be the next JC, the next Cito Rojas. I just don't think they thought it was going to happen this year.
Right. And pretty much he's been thrusted into that position because of injury. So, Ramsey's a great athlete. I've seen him since Pee Wee football and Pee Wee basketball, and that guy has a lot of talent. So it's gonna come to the top here this season. So power I formation for the Wildcats. The toss is made to the running back, the tailback, and he's going to run out to about the 45-yard line of the Falcons, where he's finally going to be brought down. That was Josh Gonzalez with the run of about 7 yards.
Yeah, he did a good job getting the edge there. His 2 fullbacks got him the edge. Josh was doing a great job of covering that ball up. I know they told him squeeze the football, and he was doing a good job of that.
So, Coach, we've seen probably 5 different offensive formations already tonight.
Well, you call that a little bit smoke and mirrors. Plus, you're trying to figure out where you're functioning. What's going to work tonight.
Okay, power I to the left, and the toss is made to Ibarra. Ibarra looking for some running. He turns the corner. He's got a little bit of room, and he's hit and knocked out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Isaiah Muniz coming up from his safety position and hitting Ibarra and not forcing him out of bounds, but a great run there by Derek.
Yeah, they went to the open side that time and run the toss. And, Derek's a good track athlete. His dad was a great football player. Arnold, his uncle, was a good football player. His older brother, Devin, played at East, and his sister was a pretty good athlete. So Derek's just the next in line. I hear there's one more in in line coming up after him.
Well, he stays in the backfield with Lefevre. Handoff. No, Lefevre's going to keep it, and he's going to rush out to the left side, and that's going to be about 8 yards. And anytime you get Lefevre in the open field, that is one tackle you do not want to have to make.
Yeah, and if he wouldn't have kind of been leaning, he was expecting a hit that never came and kind of lost his balance there at the end. But, you know, he's going to have to carry the ball some for them to be successful.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 3 for the Wildcats. Lefevre looking over to the sideline. He's got Ibarra back in the backfield with him. 2 receivers out to his left, 1 down to his right. Handoff is to Ibarra off the right side, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to be able to get anywhere.
Nowhere to go, and they took his helmet off as he did it. So it's going to be 3rd and about 3. The front for the defense of the Falcons really rose up there and held them for no gain.
Well, they're going to bring in Burnias and Cardosa, 2 of their bigger running backs.
And Josh Gonzalez.
So Josh Gonzalez is going to be lined up in the tailback position. Burnias and Cardosa are the power back. And a little miscue there. The center snapped the ball, and no one else was expecting it, not even Richard. Richard just grabbed it and moved forward, and that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Wildcats.
Well, I felt like they felt like that the defensive front for Los Fresnos had jumped off sides. They were trying to snap it and get the 5 yards, but he either made it back or he wasn't off sides. But you're right, Richard did not expect that snap when it came. But they've got 20 seconds on the play clock. They're in no hurry. They're in good field position. This is a little out of Chucky's range, I think, so they got to go for it here.
Power I formation. It's going to be tossed to Gonzalez. He's got some running room on the left side, and he's going to just leap over the 25-yard line, and that's going to be plenty good for another Wildcat 1st down.
Well, you know, I know Josh Gonzalez for a long time. His older brother Bobby, his older brother Peter, his older brother AC all went through the Wildcat program, and he's been dreaming. You know, he's had a few carries this year, but he's been dreaming of this day probably for most of his life, and let's see how he responds in his first really heavy varsity play.
So the Wildcats convert, and they've got a 1st down at the 24-yard line. We are under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Power I formation for the Wildcats, and that's going to be Cardosa right off the left guard, and he's going to just bulldoze his way for about 2.
Well, you've got to show the defense that you're willing to run up in there. You know, that's a Roy Pedraza play right there. And Randy Cardoza is a good young back, but he's not Roy Pedraza yet. And so, but you've got to show them we're not just going to go the perimeter every play. And they ran that one up in there. Clock is running. Los Fresnos didn't have the ball. They can't score. So everything's going well here.
So again, they line up in the power I. This is probably like the 4th or 5th consecutive play that we've seen out of the power I. And the handoff is going to be made to Gonzalez. And Gonzalez, trying to find some room in the middle, is able to just sneak his way inside the 20 to about the 19 for a pickup of about 3 more yards, bringing up 3rd and about 5.
Okay, now this is a good play action down, but it looks like Coach Burgett's gone to the multi-receiver set. He wasn't, you know, you've got combinations. You've got 1 back sets, you've got 2 back sets, you've got 3 back sets. Looks like they're in a no-back set right now on 3rd and about 5.
So with 3rd and 5, they do send out 5 receivers. So they're going to line up 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield for the quarterback, Lefevre. 5 seconds on the play clock. Snap. Drops back, looks to his left. He's under pressure, and he's knocked down for a sack at the 29-yard line. A loss of maybe 8 yards on the play.
Well, they did a good job of timing up that blitz, and they blocked more people. You know, you've got decisions to make as a defensive staff. We're going to give them more people than they can block, or we're going to cover with more people they can put out. That time they came with more people than you could block.
So we're going to look at 4th down and about 13 yards to go for the Wildcats.
They're going to give Chucky a shot here from about 44 yards, Joe.
Yeah, Chucky's on, and the block is being placed down at the 34-yard line, which does make it a 44-yard field goal with 1:40 to go here in the opening quarter. Timeout is called on the field. That's going to be charged to the Wildcats. So as they take one on the field, we will take one as well. You're enjoying Wildcat football right here on your home for sports, K-West. Welcome back to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas. K-West bringing you high school football Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach John Boswell. 4th down and 13 for your Wildcats. 1:40 on the clock. A 44-yard field goal attempt by Chucky, and that is going to be maybe 2 yards short.
Well, you know, there's a little bit of a change up. I'm not sure who snapped that ball, but Roy Pedraza used to be the snapper. He's gone. Mikey Gonzalez, the holder, he's been Chucky's holder for a year, so I might be the first kick that Chucky has missed this year of any kind. But well, you know what? 1:34 to go, and Los Fresnos has run 3 plays, so Weslaco East got to feel okay right now. Not great, but okay.
So they come away with no points on that drive, so the Falcons will take over on downs with 1:34 to go here in the first and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Top of the quarterback, and hand it off to Medina. Medina looking for some running room to his left side, breaks a few tackles, gets across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Some good tough running there by Medina, finally brought down by Dimas Alvarez.
Yeah, he cut under a block outside, snuck up underneath it, made a nice carry there. Dimas did a good job of coming across and making the play, but that's a big first down for Los Fresnos.
No huddle for Los Fresnos. Snap is away. Quarterback Chapa rolling to his right, looking for a receiver. He's got one, and the ball is over his head and incomplete. Good coverage there by Dimas Alvarez, the guy that just made a great tackle, now does some great coverage.
Yeah, they got Dimas back there playing in the half safety with Ramsey. Usually you would see maybe in the past Jaime Banuelos and JC back there, but you know, you've got to make adjustments where you make adjustments, and here we go.
No huddle, same offensive formation for the Falcons. Handoff is to Medina. Medina has a little bit of room up the middle, but he's hit hard right about the 48, 49-yard line. That's where he's going to be stopped, and that's where it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 for the Falcons.
Yeah, the Wildcats are running a 3-man line right now, but Freddie Cardenas is sitting right behind it.
So we've got the same offensive formation once again for the Falcons. Of course, no huddle, but again, like you were mentioning earlier, Coach, no rush either. So they've got Medina and Chapa in the backfield. Chapa is your quarterback. Takes snap, looks to his right. It's a little delayed draw from the quarterback, Chapa, and he reaches forward, and depending on the spot, will determine whether or not that's going to be a first down, because it's very close from where I'm standing.
Well, it's going to be about 2 yards short. He dove, but he hit the ground well before.
Okay.
And let's see what, you know, Los Fresnos probably looks like they're going to go for it here, but you've got to be watching the ball and not jump off sides.
So this is going to be the last play of the quarter. Quarterback sneak, and Chapa is met right at the line of scrimmage, so there is not going to be a first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, Freddie Cardenas, as I said, sitting there behind that 3-man line. Looks like there's bubbles in there to run into, but you got Freddie sitting in one of those bubbles, and he's an eraser when a running back heads up in there.
Well, a great defensive stand by the Wildcats. I said that was going to be the last play of the quarter. I lied.
Well, you know, Los Fresnos has probably ran about 7 or 8 plays now in the first period. That's a pretty good defensive quarter for the Wildcats, and a pretty good ball control quarter for them offensively.
So here we go, the Wildcats with their 3rd offensive series of the night. It's going to be the 47-yard line where they will begin this one. Power eye toss is made to Derrick, and Derrick is hit behind the line of scrimmage, 7 yards deep. And that's a loss on that play, and that's going to end the first quarter. We have played 1 quarter here at Leo Aguilar Stadium in Los Fresnos. And at the end of 1, it is your Weslaco East Wildcats 0, the Los Fresnos Falcons 0.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas. K-West bringing you exciting high school football. It is your Weslaco East Wildcats taking on the Los Fresnos Falcons. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. We played 1 quarter. We still have no score. But the good thing, coach, as you've been talking about, Los Fresnos only run about 7 plays on offense.
Yeah, they've really had 1 big play on a speed sweep. Looks like they're correcting some technology on the official. We haven't been able to hear his penalty calls. They're down there correcting that. But the Wildcats, I know right now on the sideline, aren't happy, but they've got to be all right with the tempo of the game. You know, they haven't produced on offense like they'd like to. They kind of got down in there and lost some yardage. That first down, you don't want to take a 6 or 7 yard loss. But in all that instance, you had ball control. You can move the ball. You just got to find some consistency with some new guys.
Well, that last offensive series brought them all the way down to about the 20-yard line, 18-yard line. And so that's got to be some relief for the Wildcats, considering all that they've been through the last couple of weeks. So we hope that that's some momentum that they can build on here on this third offensive series. Derek in motion, fakes the handoff. Lefevre looking to his left, throws the ball, and it's just out of the reach of Alvaro Medrano. So that pass is incomplete, bringing up a third down and about 17.
Well, trying to play action off the speed sweep action, Alvaro ran about 5-7 yards and set down. That ball just was thrown a little bit high. It's 3rd and 17-ish.
So third down for the Wildcats. Lefevre looking out to the sideline for something. Now he's got everything straightened out. Ibarra in motion, fakes the handoff. Lefevre pump fakes, ball is in the air, and just a little too long for Hector Sainz.
Yeah, that was a double move, kind of a pump and go. The DB didn't buy it. You know, 3rd and long, you're thinking play deep, so it's going to be 4th down and long. Looks like a punt situation.
So this third offensive series netted -7 yards, and so the ball will go right back to the Los Fresnos Falcons. Lefevre on to punt, back deep, Isaiah Muniz for the Falcons. Good snap, and it's blocked. Ball is loose, it's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Falcons. Picked up by Matthew Ortiz, the same guy that blocked the ball, ended up picking up the ball and running it in for a Falcon touchdown.
Yeah, he came up through there. He blocked the ball. Richard Lefevre, it got blocked. He did a good job of hustling over. I'm going to say, how far do you say that was? 17
yards.
17 yard.
Fumble recovery for a
block punt return?
Yeah, block punt return for a touchdown. Because that ball was on the ground for a little while. Then, of course, the same guy that blocked it, Matthew Ortiz, was able to pick it up and take it in for the score. So the extra point attempt is on, and it is good. So with 11:40 to go here in the first half, it is the Los Fresnos Falcons 7, your Weslaco East Wildcats 0. Well, Coach, that's something that we didn't expect tonight. We were talking about how the offense was beginning to get some kind of momentum on that third offensive series. Wasn't able to move the ball, but we talked about how great the defense had been playing, but special teams came up big there for the Falcons.
Yeah, you know, and it came down maybe to just kind of an individual effort. I don't know if they had a call block on or if he just saw a hole in the formation and said, let me run through there. But he ran through there pretty clean, blocked the punt, ran it down, was able to pick it up, and it's 7-0, 11:40 to go in the first half.
Well, the Wildcats are going to get the ball right back. And again, like we said earlier, their second offensive series were able to move the ball down, weren't able to produce any points, but that's got to be a little bit of an uplift. That's got to get you feeling, you know what, we can actually move the ball against these guys.
Yeah, but, you know, Los Fresnos has got to be feeling pretty good that they have not been able to move the ball, and they're up 7-0. That takes some of the pressure off. Now you ought to be able to settle down and play some offense and some defense, because now you've got a touchdown lead.
So the Falcons on to kick. Wildcats send 3 guys back, and they're all standing on or about the 5-yard line in anticipation of a return. So here we go. Adrian Torres on to kick for the Falcons. It's in the direction of Bones. Bones going to pick it up, catch it about the 9-yard line, and he's going to trip and fall over at about the 27-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it.
Looks like they're going to give it to him on the 25. But we'll see exactly. Yeah, I don't know if he got his feet tangled up with
the turf,
with one of the other return guys, or the turf snake jumped up. I'm not sure what happened there. Trey does a better job usually of keeping his feet there, but if it would have went in the end zone, it would have came out to the 25. So that's a good starting point right there, and let's see how the Wildcats handle it coming off that last debacle in the kicking game.
So they're going to send Josh Gonzalez into the backfield with Lefevre. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 to the top. And there's going to be motion called against the Wildcats. We had movement on both sides of the football. And when I'm talking about both sides of the football, I'm talking about the right and left side of the line of the Wildcats.
And it's going to be a 1st and 15. And now this is the kind of stuff as a coach that you start going, okay, things aren't going great, but, little everyday things like staying on sides, not jumping, waiting until the snap count. Unless Coach Burgett seems, a lot of defenses will get up there and start going, hut, hut, and your guys move. And we've seen it called once or twice this year, so let's see if that happens.
Same formation. They're going to send Bones in motion. They're going to hand it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez finds some running room up the middle. He's going to get across to about the 30-yard line. That's about a 10-yard pickup, bringing up a 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, Josh Gonzalez did a good job at turning it up inside there and get us back in a manageable field position. 2nd and 5 is a lot better down in distance than 1st and 15.
So Gonzalez stays in the backfield with Burgett. We've got 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Bone split wide to the left.
Jaime Bonuelos in the motion. There comes Josh again. And one of the defensive linemen is back there ready to take the handoff.
Jesus Davila is the guy that was in the backfield.
Yeah, that was like he was listening to the snap call. And now we're at 3rd and about 7. And that's not as good a down in distance as 2nd and 5.
That is a correction, Coach. It's Luis Rivas, 61.
Yeah.
That was in the backfield as soon as Gonzalez grabbed that ball or took the ball from Lefevre. So 3rd down and 7. Lefevre drops back, looking to his right. Ball is in the air, and that is intercepted. Intercepted there by Johnny Candengo.
Yeah, you have a little 7-8 yard out, enough to get a 1st down. The outside linebacker, I believe, falls underneath it. I don't think there's any way that the quarterback saw him dropping from his position underneath that. And it's an interception. We're at the 34-yard line, and now the defense is going to have to bull their necks up and see if they can get a stop or a turnover here.
So Los Fresno takes over in excellent field position at the Wildcat 34-yard line. Quarterback is Charles Chapa. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Medina with the handoff out on the right side. He's going to cut up right behind the tackle, and he's going to pick up maybe 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, big number 55, Jacob Bonda, does a good job coming off his block and working back inside. He gained about 3, but good job by the defensive line of the Wildcats.
So 2nd and 7, Medina in the backfield with Chapa, the quarterback. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Now Chapa's going to look over to the sideline, get a play, and now the Falcons look like they're ready to go. 3 down linemen for the Wildcats. Medina with the handoff, this time to the left side. He's going to be able to squeeze his way through the line across the 30 to about the 27-yard line, bringing up a 3rd down and about 3.
And once again, all the way from the backside, number 55, Bonda runs that thing down, and it's going to be 3rd and about 3, Joe. This is a big down for the Wildcats.
Well, you talked about the Wildcats needing a big defensive stand here, Coach, and this is where it all begins because we're in 4-down territory here. So Medina in the backfield with Chapa. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here goes the snap. Chapa rolls to his right. There's going to be a quarterback keeper. He's going to get to the 25, and he's going to find his way to about the 23, and that's going to be just enough for a Falcons 1st down.
At the point of attack, the Wildcats weren't bad. Number 26, Carlos Espinosa works up inside there. He gets just enough of a crease to fall back inside, and it's going to be 1st down.
So it's 1st down for the Falcons. Wildcats showing blitz. We were talking about this on our way up here, Coach, about how quarterbacks just know what's going on and how they get up there and make these calls to see what the defense is going to do. And I think the Falcons were doing just that. It's a pass in the direction of Nicolas Valencia, but great defensive coverage there by the Wildcats.
Al Medrano, number 20, who's been playing some on offense too, actually gets under this ball. I thought it should have been intercepted. He gets up limping around, and that's the last thing the Wildcats need is another guy limping around.
So incomplete pass is going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Falcons. Ball is resting at the 23-yard line. Medina takes a handoff, looking over to his left side, bounces back inside, gets inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Some good tough running there from Medina.
Yeah, and once again, number 55, Banda, all the way from the offensive right side to about the left tackle down the line making a play. Great job by Big Banda.
So they're going to say that he picked up 5 yards on that play, bringing up a 3rd down and 5 for the Falcons. Ball is going to be spotted at the 18-yard line. 8:12 to go here in the first half. Chapa barks his signals to his team, and now he's set, ready to go. Takes the snap, looking over to his right. Quick pass, and it's incomplete. Nicolas Valencia on a quick slant, but Alvaro Medrano with some great defense.
Yeah, he was actually beat there by about a half a step and did a good job of coming back. Looks like it may be field goal time.
Looks like they're sending out the field goal unit because the kicker is on the field, Adrian Torres. Let's see where he sets the block. He's going to set it at the 25-yard line, making this a 35-yard field goal attempt. Robert Ramirez is on to hold. It's going to be spotted at the left hash mark. 8 minutes go on here in the first half, and the Falcons attempting a 35-yard field goal. Snaps a little high, but he's able to get it down, and the kick is away. Plenty of leg on it, and it is no good. So the Falcons come up empty-handed. You talked about the Wildcats needing a great defensive stand. Well, we got one.
Well, you know, you got 8 guys returning on defense. You can't say that anymore because you've lost a couple to injury. But to stay in a game when you have injuries to your key offensive players, then your defense is going to have to bowl up and make some plays, and that's a big win right there for the defense.
So no points for the Falcons on that series after the interception. So the Wildcats, trailing by 7 with 7:55 to go here in the first half, will take over on downs from their own 20-yard line. Lefevre is in at quarterback. Going to take the snap, hand it off to Ibarra. Ibarra hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces it out to his right, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards. Good tough running there from Derek.
Yeah, Derek, good tough running. You've seen good tough running out of Josh Gonzalez. It's just you had a 200-pound running back, and now you have about a 140-pound running back.
So 2nd and 7 for the Wildcats. You've got Jacob Carrasco in there. You've got Randy Cardoza in there. You've got Derek Ibarra in there, all running backs. And you got Richard Lefevre as the quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Ibarra again, this time to the left side, and he's met right after he hits the 25-yard line.
Well, he's not got a whole lot going in there. He's splitting that initial line, but their linebackers stepping up and stopping everything. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. Looks like Coach making some personnel changes. Maybe we're going to multi-receiver sets, and yes, they are. Looks like we're going to have doubles.
Yeah, we do. We have 2 lined up right, 2 lined up left, and they are going to keep Randy Cardoza in the backfield. He's probably going to stick around to block. So Richard Lefevre making sure he's got everything ready, make sure he's got the right play in, make sure everybody is where they need to be. So here's the snap. Quick release from Lefevre. He's got a receiver, and it's incomplete.
He threw a great ball over there, Joe. It just wasn't able to hold on to it, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Last time in this situation, the punt was blocked. Let's see. Right now, they haven't made any personnel changes, but you do have to remember Richard is the punter.
Yeah, Medrano just wasn't able to hang on to that, but that would have been short of the 1st down anyway.
So here it comes.
Yeah, here comes your personnel changes, Coach. They're going to send Muniz back to return this one for the Falcons.
They've been running an obscure punt formation a little bit after that block. Let's see if they are a little more universal here.
Yeah, and tighten it up in the middle.
Well, no, they're going to, but they're about out of time. In fact, Coach had to take a timeout there.
Okay. Well, they were running out of time on the play clock, so they'll take a timeout, and we'll take one as well. We've got 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. It is your Weslaco Wildcats trailing this one 7-0 to the Los Fresnos Falcons. You're enjoying high school football right here on KWS. We'll be right back.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. 4th down for the Wildcats. Lefevre back to punt. Muniz back to return for the Falcons. Snap is away. No rush. And Lefevre gets a punt away. Muniz at about the 38-yard line, and he is hit quickly and brought down by Mike Gonzalez.
Yeah, Mikey Gonzalez did a good job working his way down the field, breaking down and making a sound tackle. But, you know, Mikey's been around football his whole life. He's a coach's kid. He's been playing since he could walk probably, and that's a good job by Mike Gonzalez.
So the Falcons will take over here at their own 41-yard line. Last time the Falcons had the ball, they took over after an interception and missed a 35-yard field goal. So we'll see what the Wildcat defense can continue stopping the Falcons. Medina with the quick handoff from the quarterback Chapa has a little bit of running room off the left guard, and he's going to bring it out to about the 49-yard line, good for about 8 yards.
Yeah, they pulled the right guard up around the hole and leading up through the hole. Running back was really patient. Wildcats got to get off of blocks and make a play.
Same offensive formation for the Falcons. Handoff to Medina again. Medina this time looking for some running room to his outside. He's got some off the right, breaks back, and he's finally hit at about the 45-yard line and brought down at the 44-yard line. Ramsey Vasquez along with Carlos Espinosa on the stop for the Wildcats, but that's enough for another Falcon first down.
Yeah, they got fooled a little bit on that play. The defense, the outside edge of the defense, he cut it to the sideline. They had to react back.
So this time they're going to send 3 receivers to the left. Medina takes the handoff. Then he's going to cut right back, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Wildcats think that the ball is loose, but the referee's going to signal that he was down. So a loss of 1 on that play, so bringing up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that's a great onside play by Mikey Gonzalez again, and again chasing it down from the backside, number 55, Jacob Bonda. So those two guys playing well so far tonight.
So loss of 1 on that play, bringing up a 2nd and 11. This time they're going to bring 3 receivers to the right, and they've got a different running back in the backfield, and that's going to be Adrian Espinosa. Adrian's going to look out to his right. There's going to be a bubble screen out here to the flat, and it is caught by Nicolas Valencia, and he's hit hard after about a 2-yard gain, loses the ball, but they're going to retain possession of it, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Let me tell you what, Ramsey Vasquez does a good job coming from a safety spot, but Gerald Garza, number 43, playing right side defensive end, works his way all the way down the line, along with number 3, Freddie Cardenas, to assist on that tackle.
So 3rd down and 9 for the Falcons. Snap is made. Chapa rolling to his left. He's got some pressure. The Wildcats get to him, and they bring him down for a big loss. You're talking about number 55 all night long, coach, and this time he gets a sack.
Well, it was set up by number 48, Robert Vera, coming on the blitz. He turns around, and Jacob Bonda is there to clean it up. Again, Jacob Bonda having a nice half of football.
That is for sure, and we've been talking about this Wildcat defense and how good they've been playing tonight, and that is what they needed. Tonight was a big sack, and they got themselves 1, so that's going to put the Falcons back at the 50-yard line. 4th down and about 16, so they are set to punt.
You know, the defense hasn't given up any points tonight. Those points are against the kicking game.
That is for certain. Of course, that was off of a special teams punt block where the Falcons got those points. Punt is away, and it's fielded on 1 hop by Ramsey Vasquez at the 15, and he's brought down after about 3-yard pickup.
You know, that's a gutsy decision because that would have rolled down to about the 2-yard line. I think Los Fresnos was in position to down that, but Ramsey's been back there enough during his career. He felt like he could handle it and make a couple yards. You know, you talk about hidden yardage sometimes, and there's hidden yardage all the time. That would have been about a 10 or 12-yard loss right there if he'd let it bounce.
Well, that was almost one of those perfect bounces. It went right into his hand. So definitely a good decision making there from Ramsey Vasquez. So that saved the Wildcats a lot of yardage. Lefevre under center. Toss is made to Derek Ibarra. Ibarra looking for some running room off the right side, and he just cannot get around the corner.
Well, they're just not getting the edge like they're used to getting. I don't know if Los Fresnos is just disregarding the pass at all out of these formations, but they're doing a nice job also defensively. Neither defense has given up a point tonight.
So 3:08 and the clock continues to move. The Falcons lead the Wildcats 7-0. Second down and 11 for the Wildcats. Ball is at the 17-yard line. Lefevre under center, gets up, looks out to the sideline. I formation for the Wildcats. Ibarra, the tailback, takes the handoff. He's got some running room off to the right side, and he's going to drag a Falcon to the first down marker, and he does. It's enough for a first down. He's going to pick up 11 yards on that play. Good tough running there from Derek.
Yeah, that was more downhill type of run. Then he bounced it out as the defense allowed instead of trying to get it to the corner and getting a track meet with him. That was a Wildcat run right there.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Ball is handed to the first guy through, and that's Jared Burnias, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and maybe fought his way for 1 yard on that play.
Well, you got to keep the defense off, honest, and slip one to your fullback now and then. Sometimes those things break big, and sometimes they do just that, about a yard. But you're going to play tough, and you're going to still play ball possession. We're at 2:08 in the first half. It's 7-0. Wildcats, like I said, can't be happy, but they got to feel pretty good.
Power I formation. Derek Ibarra trying to bounce this one outside, and he just cannot get away from Christian Peña. That's the second time Christian Peña just follows him to the sideline and is able to bring him down.
Yeah, young man Peña runs really well on defense, doing a good job of getting downhill. Somebody got to get the second level on the offensive line for the Wildcats. Somebody's got to be responsible for that guy. If they can get him blocked, they got a chance. 3rd and 10, Joe. Ball's out of bounds. The clock should have stopped. It has. 1:52 to go in the half.
Yeah, so the ball does get out of bounds, and the clock does stop at 1:52. So they're going to make some personnel changes, the Wildcats, that is, and they're going to send out their hands team. They're going to send Alvarado. They're going to send Gonzalez, and they're going to send Bones out to the left side of the football field, or the bottom of your screen, and split out to the right. It's going to be Banuelos and Ramsey Vasquez. But the Wildcats are going to call a timeout because, again, 3rd and 10. We've got about 1:52 to go here in the first half, and this is a big play for them.
Oh, yeah, and the thing the Wildcats have got to be concerned about is last time they got in this no-back look, Los Fresnos brought more than they could block. So you've got to look over there, and if you've got guys looking at their receiver and not at the quarterback, then they're probably in man. And if they're in man, that probably means they're bringing pressure. If they're backed up a little bit because it's 3rd and 10, they're probably playing some zone and going to make you throw a perfect pass. So you've got to get a chance to look at that. Not a bad down for screen. I don't know if they have any screens in. I don't know that a draw would go right now because I don't think that the Los Fresnos is going to really get that much pressure unless they bring pressure. So it's a chess match right now between the coaching staffs. But you've got to, as an offensive line, know we can block 5, and that's all we can block. Which 5 are we going to block?
Yeah, and they've also, in a certain situation, have had Burnias back there, or they've had Carrasco back there, and they've kept him or them into block as well. So that gives you a 6-person into block. So we'll see what they decide to do. This is a long time out there for Bourget and the Wildcats. So now they break huddle, and they're coming onto the field. We'll see what kind of play call they have in their pocket for this one. They bring out the same offensive formation, 3 to the left and 2 to the right. Bones is at the bottom of your screen. No blitz. Plenty of time, and it's a great pass from Lefevre, and they're going to say that is incomplete. That was a great attempt there from Banuelos to bring that in. From where I was standing, that looked good, but of course, that doesn't matter.
Right, but if you hit him in the numbers on that slant there, he might still be running. Good read, the right person you threw it to, you just got to make a great throw there. With 1:46 to go, clock stopped. I know that you didn't want to punt it away to Los Fresnos here, but you're going to have to.
They've got Muñiz back there to return this one. Of course, Lefevre is your punter. Not a lot of pressure being applied. It looks like they're going to try to set up a wall, but this one goes out of bounds, and it's not going to be a very good punt. We'll see where they decide to mark this, because from where we're standing, it might be inside Wildcat territory.
And let's see. The official is still coming, and that's going to be it. It's going to be right at midfield.
Yeah, 49-yard line is where he stopped on the Los Fresnos side of the football field.
So 141, Joe. Let's see what you got defensively. You got to come up with one more stop here in the half. A turnover would be unbelievable, but let's see what they got.
So Medina in the backfield with Chapa, the quarterback. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Handoff is made to Medina. Medina trying to wiggle his way through the line, and he does across midfield to about the 49, maybe 48-yard line. They're going to say 49, so that's going to be good for 2 yards, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah,
but
good.
The clock runs, though.
Yeah, nice job by the interior of the defense. That's big number 97. That's Robert Torres in there. Number 90, Fernando Garza in the inside linebackers. That was a good job there.
Same formation for the Falcons. Pumps it to his right. Then he's got a receiver wide open, but a great job for Ramsey Vasquez getting there right as the ball arrived.
Yeah, the secondary, that's a good job by Ramsey. The double move beat the cornerback. The cornerback got fooled by the pump fake, and that's why you have a half safety back there. He's supposed to cover for all mistakes. He sure covered for that one.
Yeah, Alanis, the intended receiver, and Ramsey Vasquez with a great defensive play to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Falcons. So same formation. Quarterback Chapa drops back, looking for a receiver, throws it up into the middle of the field, and it is caught by Robert Ramirez, and he is in for a Falcon touchdown. Ramirez gets behind the secondary of the Falcons, 48 yards on that touchdown play.
Wow, he just beat the coverage. It looked like they might have been in man, but he had help. That's not what you wanted to happen with 1 minute to go in the half, but it did.
Yeah, the defense been playing some pretty good football here. Coach, you had mentioned that they had not given up any points because those points came off of special teams, but now they gave up a touchdown here with 1 minute to go in the first half. So the kick is on its way for the extra point, and Adrian Torres splits the uprights with 1:04 to go here in the first half. The Falcons extend their lead 14-0.
You know, and here's the crazy thing. They're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, that they are. Coach, you were talking about how the receiver got behind the secondary. Looked like the Wildcats were in man, but he was supposed to get some help across the top.
Right.
And the receiver was able to find his way behind the receivers, Robert Ramirez that is, and a great job there, Chapa getting it to him beyond the Wildcat defenders.
Actually, the defenders kind of knocked each other off back there in the coverage, and he ended up being open, and that's a touchdown for number 26.
Yeah, Robert Ramirez. So the Falcons are on to kick to the Wildcats. We've got 1:04 to go here in the first half. We'll see what the Wildcats do here on this next offensive series. They've got no timeouts left here in the first half.
Well, I don't think they're going to try to do anything crazy. In fact, if they don't get good field position, I could see them victory formation and getting out of the half.
Adrian Torres on to kick for the Falcons. Kick is away. Ramsey Vasquez is going to take this one at about the 2-yard line. Has some blockers. Cuts it out to his left, to his right rather, and he's still on his feet at 35. Makes a spin move and is dropped at about the 42-yard line. Good return there from Ramsey Vasquez.
Yeah, like I said, Ramsey's that next guy in the chute that's a little bit of could-do-everything type guy, and I'm not surprised to see him bring that ball back the way he did. And let's see what they do with 55 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, they're going to say he's down at the 41-yard line. 55 seconds to go here in the first half. Wildcats with the football, trailing 14-0. They're all huddled on the sideline. Coach Burgett over there barking out his instructions to his Wildcats. So here come the Wildcats onto the field. They're going to send in their receiving core. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield for Lefevre. Out to Ramsey. Ramsey just can't hold on to that one.
Yeah, you know, you want to get the ball in his hands, but you got to get it in your hands before you can run with it.
So that's an incomplete pass. bringing up a 2nd down and 10. Incomplete pass, of course, stops the clock with 50 seconds to go here in the first half. So they're going to bring Gonzalez into the backfield along with Lefevre. Handoff is to Gonzalez. He's got some running room up the middle. Get across midfield to the 40. 35-30. Finally brought down at about the 27-yard line. A great run there from Josh Gonzalez, and that's the spark that they probably needed here in the first half.
Well, sure it is, but you got Los Fresnos playing deep, and he cracked one up in there. That's a good job. Right now, the clock is started back with no timeouts, so you've got to at least be thinking 3 here, if not 7.
Lefevre looking to his right, gets into the hands of Vasquez. Vasquez hit immediately when he catches that ball, but that's about 8 yards on that play.
Yeah, the clock's running, though. We're down under 25 seconds. You either need to clock it and kill it or get a play going here.
Well, Lefevre's up there. He's ready to go. He gets it. Looking to his right. Ball is in the air and just a little too far out in front of Vasquez. I think there might have been a little confusion as far as to what kind of route Vasquez was going to run there.
Well, you know, you've got some guys that aren't used to doing this. They haven't been doing it all year. They're taking the place of injured guys. Looks like it might be Chucky time here with 14 seconds to go.
Well, it's 3rd down. 14 seconds to go, and they are going to bring Chucky on to attempt a 35-yard field goal.
Let's give him 36.
36-yard field goal. Timeout is called by the Falcons. Coach, you've got 14 seconds. I'm not so sure I would have done this just yet. I would have tried maybe one more play.
Well, you don't have
one at the end zone.
If you go in the end zone and it is intercepted, or if it's caught and it's not in the end zone, the clock's going to run out. You just want to come out of here with points. I think with the way they're playing offense tonight, that might be what you want.
Well, with 14 seconds, I think the longest a play like that would take would maybe be 8, 9 seconds, and that would still be 5 or 6.
But you can't stop the clock though, because now if you down it, it's 4th down, and you don't have any downs left.
Yeah, that's why I say it's got to go to the end zone.
It has to go to the end zone or the sideline.
Or the sideline.
And they're going to defense both things.
Right.
So, you know, I think you want to get out of the half with points. I think that's the big one.
Well, they're going to try to get some points on the board here. Chucky on to attempt a 36-yard field goal with 14 seconds left on the clock. Mike Gonzalez is the holder. Snap is high. Hold is down. The kick is away. And it is no good.
Wow. You know what?
To the left.
Once again, you got a high snap. I'm not sure who the snapper is now that Roy Pedraza is gone, but that timing was off. I think good job by Mikey Gonzalez getting that thing even down on the tee. But now with 9.4 seconds, Joe, let's see what Los Fresnos has up their sleeves. The Wildcats going to end up, and it doesn't happen often, but they're going to go in at halftime with no points.
Yeah, so 9 seconds left on the clock here. It looks like the Falcons are going to line up in victory formation, and they're going to be content with their 14-point lead, and they are. Remember, they deferred for the second half, so they'll have the ball to begin the second half with a 14-point lead. We have played 2 quarters here at Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium in Los Fresnos, and at the end of the first half, it is the Los Fresnos Falcons 14, your Weslaco East Wildcats 0. We'll be back with second half action from Leo Aguilar Stadium here in Los Fresnos, right here on KWES.
In this game, you need the desire, the hunger, the will to win.
Hit so hard they knock
This is what drives you to finish,
Pedraza goes untouched into the end zone.
to dominate. When it's one-on-one on this field, the one with more heart, the one with true will, one who simply refuses to lose, will be victorious. East side, strong side.
Good evening and welcome back to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas. KWES bringing you exciting Friday night high school football action. It is your Weslaco East Wildcats taking on the Los Fresnos Falcons. We played one half of play here in Los Fresnos, and the Los Fresnos Falcons are up 14-0. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, bringing you all the action here from this great game.
Yeah, it was the first half where the Wildcats are still trying to find out who they are offensively, but it came down to a blocked punt and a long pass, and it's 14-0 Los Fresnos.
Yeah, we had a scoreless first half, first quarter. Coach, you were mentioning this, that the Falcons probably ran all of 7 plays in the first quarter. The Wildcat defense playing really well, and then, of course, in the second quarter, we had that blocked punt, and the guy that came in through the line to block that punt was Matthew Ortiz, and, of course, 3 seconds later, after Lefevre can't fall on the ball, he picks it up and runs it into the end zone for a touchdown. And then a little later on, with about a minute 50 to go in the first half, it's a quarterback Chapa finding Robert Ramirez in stride for a 48-yard touchdown pass, and both extra points were good. Kicked through the upright by Adrian Torres, and that, of course, puts us where we're at, 14-0. Los Fresnos on top. Los Fresnos, of course, won the toss, deferred for the second half, so they'll begin the second half receiving, and so the Wildcats will be kicking off to begin the second half.
You know, Joe, before we came back here on the air with the K-West fans, I said, you really don't have anything to lose right here. I might think about onside kicking to start the second half because Los Fresnos lines up really tight. So if you could kick it over here to your kicking team left around the 48-yard line, you've got a couple guys over there can run, go get the ball. If you don't recover it, then you tell the defense, go play defense. I don't know if he'll do it, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't think about it.
I would think about it, but looking at their personnel, they look like they've got a hands team out there because everyone has low numbers.
Yeah, but you've got 3 or 4 guys that run really well right over here.
Yeah.
But from where Chucky's lined up, they're kicking it deep.
Yeah, so here we go. Chucky on the kick, and it is away. It's going to be in the direction of J.J. Sanchez. Going to pick it up at about the 2-yard line and run this one out to about the 18. Great stop there by the Wildcat coverage team.
Yeah, that's Freddie Cardenas, and I believe that's Espinosa, Carlos, number 26, the starting inside linebackers, running down, making the play on the opening kickoff of the second half.
So they stop him at the 19-yard line, and that's where the Falcons will begin the second half. They're going to bring out their quarterback, Chapa, and Medina will be in the backfield with them. They've been pretty much 90% of the offensive backfield here in this ball game thus far. They're going to have 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Looks like they got all their personnel on the field, and Chapa is ready. Medina going to now line up on the right side of the quarterback. So now everybody's set. Snap is away, handed off to Medina, off to the left, and he's met quickly and brought down maybe 1 yard on that play. Depends on where they spot it.
Yeah, I think that Gerald Garza, number 43, not getting blocked over there at his end position, knifes in, makes the play. Maybe a 2-yard gain, Joe?
Yeah, they mark it outside the 20-yard line, about the 21, so that'll be 2 yards, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. Same offensive formation for the Falcons. This time the Wildcats have 4 men on the line, and a little slow in developing is that play, but the Wildcats are able to converge on Medina after about maybe a 3-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, those are 2 very patient runs by the running back for Los Fresnos. Wildcats doing a good job of collapsing on that thing. Don't be surprised when they pull that out and want to throw it off that same action.
So again, we have the same offensive formation. Coach, you mentioned this earlier. They don't huddle up, but they don't get in a big hurry either. So here we go. Quick pass out to the left, and that is dropped. The intended receiver was number 46. I don't have a name for him on the roster, but defensively for the Wildcats, Dimas Alvarez.
Yeah, Dimas did a good job coming out of his safety spot. He held up there because, in the old day they had gone and wiped him out, and the crowd was really oohed and awed. But you know what I said? Kickoff, 3 downs, and punt, and the defense did their job. The offense is going to just have to find a way to make something happen here.
So on the punt are the Falcons. It looks like they're going to send Ramsey Vasquez back to return this one. 1 hop on the snap. The punt is away. It's a short one. Ramsey calls for the fair catch, and he draws it in at the 39-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will begin their first offensive series of the second half.
Okay, so you've got 0 backs, 1 back sets, 2 back sets, 3 back sets, 5 receiver sets. Let's see how the Wildcats start off.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of different formations here by the Wildcats in this ball game so far, and we'll see what they come out in the second half. They were able to move the ball somewhat. There were some rays of sunshine in the Wildcat offense in the first half, so we'll see what they do. They come out in the power I formation, and they're going to have Josh as the tailback, and he's going to come out across the 40 to the 41-yard line, and that's going to be good for 2 yards.
You know, Josh had a decent first half. I think I heard he had 6 carries for 60 yards, something like that. He's going to need another half like that to get this done.
Well, he did have that one big play that we talked about earlier. That was the spark that the Wildcats needed, but they just weren't able to get that one into the end zone. So we'll see how they continue to just begin to build on any momentum that they do have. In the backfield is Randy Cardoza with Richard Lefevre. They're going to send in Jaime Banuelos onto the field as well. They're going to send Derek in motion, and it's going to be a jet sweep, and he's going to be met in the backfield and brought down by Johnny Candengo. Now, that's the young man that had the interception earlier.
Yeah, and he just stayed home over there, waited for Derek to come. There was no lead blocker of any kind. He's sitting out there in space making the play.
So the second time that we see that jet sweep and the second time that we see them drop for loss of yardage. So Lefevre in shotgun formation. They're going to send 2 receivers right, 3 down to your left. You've got Josh Gonzalez along with Alvaro Medrano, and you've got Hector Sainz all on the bottom of your screen.
Here comes pressure.
It's going to be a quarterback draw, and Lefevre is on his way. He's at midfield. No one's going to bring him down at midfield, and he's still on his feet inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Coach, we talked about this earlier, that Lefevre is not one that you want to be in the open field with.
Yeah, but that wasn't a called play. That was Richards saying, they're bringing pressure. There's nobody in the middle of this formation. I need to take off here. Did a nice job, first down Wildcats.
So big yardage there from Lefevre across midfield into Falcon territory at the 38-yard line. Fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. Handoff is to Josh. Josh has some run room. Stays on his feet inside the 30. And that is some good running there from Josh to stay on his feet.
Yeah, you know, Josh is going to end up being a really good running back. Of course, it kind of runs in the blood, as we talked about in the first half. But that's a 10-yard carry right there. Young man starting to feel his way.
So that's another first down for the Wildcats. Stacked receivers on both sides. Josh in the backfield. Josh with the handoff again, and he's going to get inside to about the 25-yard line. That's going to be good for about 3 yards, depending on where they spot it. They're going to spot it at the 36, so it'll be 2-yard pickup for Josh Gonzalez.
Well, he saw a cutback lane. He just couldn't get in it. They got a little piece of his leg. He goes down. But right now, again, the Wildcats have the ball. The clock is running, but they need to put some points on the board.
Lefevre looking out to his right. He's got Ramsey, and Ramsey makes a move, and he's going to get inside the 10-yard line. What a great move there by Ramsey Vasquez, and they're going to say he's dropped at the 10-yard line. So that's going to bring up another first down for the Wildcats. They're going to drop the chain, so they're going to say it's first and goal.
Yeah, number 4, Ramsey Vasquez again doing, he had the good kickoff return in the first half. He's done a nice job in the secondary, and right there he had a big catch.
So the Wildcats moving the ball down the field. First and goal from the 10-yard line. Power I formation. Handoff is inside, and the Wildcats are going to get inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line.
Well, they took the motion of the offense to the right, and the running back worked his way back to the left. I think that's
Randy Cardoza.
Randy Cardoza, number 44, working his way back to the left. And it's good for about a yard. But you've got to, again, keep the defense honest.
So Hector Sainz now going to split out to the right to the top of your screen. Power I formation. Lefevre under center. Toss is made to Josh Gonzalez. Gonzalez trying to cut back and loses his footage and is going to get to about the 6-yard line, making it a third down and goal from about the 6.
Yeah, he just never really was on balance, I didn't think, when he made that cut. Kind of cut on his inside foot and lost his footing. Here comes the multiple receiver set on the 6-yard line. You got to believe the Wildcats are in 4 down here, trailing by 14.
So Bones, along with Alvaro Medrano at the bottom of your screen. At the top, you've got Ramsey Vasquez and Jaime Banuelos. Josh Gonzalez stays in the block. Pass is caught by Ramsey Vasquez in the end zone for a Wildcat touchdown. Ramsey Vasquez running that skinny post, and Lefevre doing a great job hitting him right in the numbers, and that's a Wildcat touchdown.
Yeah, that's a nice job. They ran a little inside-outside combination over there. Ramsey runs to the post. Jaime goes out and up. They beat the coverage. Nice throw by Richard. Nice catch by Ramsey.
Gonzalez with the hold, Chucky with the kick, and it is good. So with 6:19 to go here in the third quarter, your Wildcats cut the lead in half. Trail now 14-7. And that's the spark that the Wildcats needed. They, like you were talking to Coach, and you and I were talking over the half, that there were some sparks of offensive movement by the Wildcats, but they just needed to put something together.
Well, you know, and I think I used the word establish, and they did establish a couple of things there. They established the run a little bit, even though the big run came on Richard on a scramble. But, you know, you got some yards out of Randy. You got some yards out of Josh. You got a short pass over to Ramsey. Then you've got, the touchdown to Ramsey. But you saw some more consistency out of the formations, and you saw some different people carrying the ball. They're going to have to manufacture offense the rest of the year until somebody really stands up and says, hey, I'm going to be the man now.
Yeah, and right now it looks like it is going to be running back by committee until they figure that out. But they've been able, like you said right now, to establish a little bit of offense, and a great job there by Lefevre recognizing the rush and deciding that as the leader, I need to make something happen, and he did just that. So a big run there to keep that drive alive, and of course the touchdown pass to Ramsey. So the extra point is good. Chucky with it, and now he's on to kick. Kick is away and is in the direction of J.J. Sanchez. No, it's going to be caught by Nicolas Valencia 1 yard deep in the end zone. He's going to bring it out, and he's going to be brought down at the 19-yard line. Once again, the Falcons will begin another series at the 19-yard line here in the third quarter.
You know, I think the return man really would have liked to kneel that thing, but he wasn't sure if the ball drew him into the end zone or if he ran into the end zone. And I have seen kids do that and kneel and get a safety. So he had to come out. But that's why when you stand back there at the 5, it goes head high, you let it go. But, this kind of field position you want if you're the Wildcats. And they're still in a 3-man front. Let's see how they handle what Los Fresnos has from here.
So Los Fresnos, again, in a very familiar offensive formation. They got Medina in the backfield with Chapa. Medina takes the handoff, and he's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped for no gain.
Who is that? Is that Mikey Gonzalez? It sure is. Number 33, Mikey Gonzalez, coming from the outside linebacker spot, making the play. Good job up front. Jacob Bonda now playing nose. You've got Fernando, and you've got Gerald De Garza's playing at defensive end. Nice job inside by the Wildcats.
Same formation. This time the quarterback looking for a receiver, and he's got one and is caught. And he makes a spin move, and he's going to be brought down inside Wildcat territory at about the 47-yard line. Little play action there from the quarterback, Chapa, and then a pump and go move to Adrian Alanis, and that one was run almost to perfection.
Yeah, they fooled him on that in the first half, but he couldn't make the catch. He made the catch on that one, and that's a big play right there. I'm not sure what the defender's looking at. I got to believe he's got that guy, but that's a long way for the safety to go in that situation.
So the Falcons 1st and 10 inside Wildcat territory at the 48-yard line. They're going to fake the handoff to Medina. Chapa keeps it, looking for some running room, and he's going to be able to bounce this one outside. He's at the 40, 35, 30, trying to make a move, but he decides to run out of bounds because tracking them were Dimas Alvarez and Ramsey Vasquez, but they were tracking him way down the field.
Yeah, the first guy that really was tracking him was number 3, Freddie Cardenas, but he got caught behind a block, and as he worked out there, they said you can call holding on every play. I would like to see that in a replay because there was a guy right at the point of attack that I felt was maybe being mistaken for, but who knows, and it could be called every play, and hate to cry about it. It's first down, Los Fresnos.
So the chains are moved to the 29-yard line. Fresnos with the ball. Chapa's got a receiver open, and he's able to connect with him. And he's finally brought down inside the 10-yard line. And receiving on the other end of the catch is Eddie Uribe.
Well, what's happening right now is the Wildcats, for some reason, are so concerned about the short pass, they're letting the deeper pass open behind them, and that's hurt them twice on this drive.
So first and goal from the 8. The Falcons with the football moving down the field. Wildcats scored, and the Falcons come right back and are marching down the field. We need a big defensive stand here from the Wildcats.
They appear to be in man-to-man. Let's see what happens here.
Chapa, the quarterback, hands off to Medina, looking for some running room, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down immediately.
Yeah, there's no place to go over there. You've got free runners on the defensive front. Is that number 48 again, Robert Vetta? And it's going to be second and goal. Right now, the Wildcats need a turnover.
That would be great. So here we go. Same offensive formation that we've seen a lot here tonight. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Medina in the backfield with the quarterback, Chapa. Of course, like you've said earlier, Coach, they're not hurrying up. They look back, and they're not huddling up. And so here we go. Chapa looking to his right. Ball is in the air to the direction of Valencia, and it is incomplete. Great job there by Alvaro Medrano.
Yeah, that was man-to-man. Again, he made a nice move. Actually, he was clear there for a second. Good recovery by Medrano out there, and now we're at third and goal.
Third and goal for the Falcons.
Third and goal.
Wildcats line up on defense. 4 down linemen. Chapa, the quarterback, looking to his right. Quarterback draw, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but Chapa able to roll his way for maybe a 1-yard gain. Fernando Garza, the first one to make contact with him in the backfield.
Yeah, good job again by the defense when they needed it. Here comes the field goal unit. Now you've got to be smart about a couple of things. 1, don't jump off sides, give them another chance. And 2, make sure they kick the ball. You're not looking for a fake here.
A 22-yard field goal attempt by the kicker, Adrian Torres. Snap is away. It's a good one. Good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So we've got 3:34 to go in the third quarter, and the Falcons extend their lead to 10. Now lead the Wildcats 17-7. Coach, good drive there from the Falcons.
Yeah, nice drive. You know, like I said, for some reason the Wildcats are kind of jumping the underneath routes, and the deeper routes are getting off behind them, but they're doing a great job against the run.
Yeah, they've allowed 2 passes to happen behind the cornerbacks. And, you know, it's just those real quick fake moves out and up and just looking for that empty seam, empty area. And the quarterback's doing a great job getting the ball to them.
Yeah, and that's going to have to be corrected. I'm sure they're talking about that over there. You know, they always say don't get beat deep. Nobody's ever told me don't get beat short.
Right.
You know? So, and that's kind of what's happening right now.
Yeah, they're finding that little pocket, that little bubble like you like to call it, Coach, right there in between the corner and the safety, and the quarterback is doing a great job just finding his receiver. So for the kicking duties for the Falcons is going to be Adrian Torres, and we've got 3 Wildcats back there ready to return this one.
I don't think I would kick it to number 4 if you could figure out where he is back there.
He's going to be on the bottom of your screen.
And guess what?
And they kick it to Ramsey. Ramsey's going to take it at about the 8-yard line. Looking for some running room. He makes a move to the outside, but not able to get anywhere after that. And he's going to be dropped out of bounds at about the 26-yard line is what the referee says.
Yeah, that kick kind of forced him into the short side of the field. He didn't really have anywhere to go. 26-yard lines, it's an okay place to start. Anytime you're inside the 25, not a great place to start.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from their 26-yard line. Last offensive series, they punched it in. We'll see if they can do the same thing again. You said, Coach, that they did a great job running. We'll see if they can continue to do that.
They started to establish something. I don't know if they did a great job running, but they really established the run on the last drive. And they're in the old school Twins I
formation. Toss is made to Derek Ibarra. Look, he's got some blockers. He gets outside. He's up. about at the yardstick for 10-yard pickup there. Good job there by Derek. And, of course, you mentioned this earlier, Coach, that there were no lead blockers when he was trying to make his way outside. This time he did have a little bit of a caravan out there, and that was good for about 10 yards.
Yeah, when you're running the jet sweep and coming in motion, unless you found a way to bubble the running back over there, then you don't really have a lead blocker. You're just trying to do it out of speed. On this true eye toss, there's a fullback out there, plus maybe a pulling lineman. So there actually is people out there.
So, again, they are lined up in the I formation. Lefevre under center. Handoff is to Ibarra. Ibarra going to follow his right guard, but the Falcon defensive line doing a great job sealing there and not allowing him to get anywhere.
Yeah, they collapsed that pretty quickly. But, again, you can't be panicking yet, and you've got to keep them honest. You can't just go wide, go wide, go wide. They run pretty well on defense.
Same formation. This time they toss it to Ibarra. Ibarra's got some blockers, and he isn't hit till he's 5 yards down the field. They're going to drop him at about the 41-yard line, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, this is a tricky down right now. You know, in the old days, you would stay in the eye and you'd run maybe a bootleg off a play action. But it looks like they're going no backs. Of course, you've got Jaime
and Bones.
And Ramsey and Bones and Alvaro, and then you've got Josh in the backfield. No, you got Josh coming out here left.
Yeah, so it's going to be an empty backfield for Lefevre. We are under 2.5 minutes to go here in the third. Snap is away. Lefevre looks to his right, and it was going in the direction of Ramsey, but Isaiah Munoz read that one perfectly. He knew it was going that way.
Well, you know, he had some pressure coming up the middle, and he had to get that ball out of his hands. But they're just doing a good job defensively at defending the sticks. You know, he's trying to get 6 yards when it's 4th and 5, and so the defender is defending the 6-yard line, and he sees the receiver stop, and he breaks up on the ball and almost picks it off.
Well, the same guy that almost picked it off is on his way back to return this one from the Wildcats. Lefevre on the punt. And again, the same guy that blocked it the first time almost blocked this one, but this time he ran into Lefevre, and there are flags on the field.
Well, if it's running into and it's 5 yards, that'll be real close for the first down. If it's the 15-yard kind, it's definitely a first down. Let's see. I think either way you take the penalty, even if it means punt it again because it's 4th and 1. But if it's 4th and 1, you got Richard Lefevre.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be enough for a first down.
Kicker on the defense, the 5-yard penalty. First down.
Okay, yeah. He's giving him the full first.
Yeah, that was going to be really, really, really close, and there was just no doubt in my mind that was going to be a first. That wasn't going to be a first down.
Well, the Oscar goes to
Richard Lefevre.
Well, yeah, the biggest guy on the field got bumped with the shoulder, and he fell down like he fell out of a helicopter. You know, he did a good job. But you know what? I used to be a punter way back in the day, and we were taught if you're touched or if it looks like you were touched, go down.
But, Coach, you've mentioned this. There's a lot of kids on this team that are coaches' sons.
Oh, yeah.
And Richard is one of them. So he's very football smart.
Oh, yeah. He's been around it his whole life.
So Lefevre with Gonzalez in the backfield. The handoff is to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has a little seam up the middle, and he's able to follow his blockers to midfield. Good for 4 yards on that play.
Yeah, if you can keep getting 4, and then break one here and there, you got a chance to work yourself back in this game. There's a minute 55 to go in the third and a full 4th quarter to go.
So this time they're going to bring 3 running backs onto the field, and it looks like they're going to line up in a power I formation. You've got Burnias, and you've got Cardosa, and you've got Gonzalez in there as well. Gonzalez is going to take the handoff from Lefevre, and he's going to get across midfield to about the 48-yard line, which will bring up a 3rd down and 4 situation for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he just ran into a mass of humanity there. There wasn't really anywhere to go. It's going to be 3rd and about 4, and here comes the multiple receiver set. But it looks like we're going to have one stay in the backfield to help Richard out.
Yeah, they're going to keep Cardosa in the backfield. Again, Coach, you mentioned this earlier about that blitz, and if you got 5 blockers and you send 6 people, and that's what the Falcons have done a few times. So this time Lefevre's going to keep, and he's got some running room. He's inside the 30-yard line, in the 25, into the 23-yard line. Great job there by Lefevre. The Falcons, of course, blitz on the outside, and Lefevre had the middle wide open.
Well, I hate to tell you, that one was called. The time he ran before, it was not called. That was quarterback run all the way. He caught the ball. He let Randy get in front of him. He found a hole in the formation, and here we go for a first down. Looks like there might be an injury on the Los Fresnos side. Either way, Joe, they're taking the timeout on the field. Do you want to take one too?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, Coach. We'll take a timeout. We are in the third quarter. Under a minute to go here. The Falcons up 17-7. Well, we'll stay right here, Coach, because they're coming right back onto the field. Change move, 1st and 10. Fresh set of downs for your Wildcats. Ball is going to be spotted at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, they got the young man off the field, and then they brought everybody back, and here we go.
So they're going to stack the receivers on both sides. And they've got a running back in the backfield with Lefevre, but I can't see him from here. Lefevre is just such a big man. Okay, now he moves forward, and that's going to be Cardosa in the backfield with Lefevre. Same play. Lefevre's going to run with this one, and he's going to spin out of a hand tackle or an arm tackle, and he's going to get inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
You know, actually, the defensive end from Los Fresnos kind of collapsed that hole. Richard bounced it out, and when you're 250 pounds and you get moving forward, you're hard to stop.
You are for certain. Cardosa stays in the backfield with Lefevre. Same offensive formation. Bones along with Medrano at the bottom of your screen. Ramsey at the top of your screen. Same play. Lefevre is finally going to be brought down inside the 10, and someone had to grab his legs to bring him down.
Well, that's like tackling a tree, though. You know, I mean, those trunks are outstandingly big, and it's going to be first down and goal. And we're inside 8 seconds, Joe. This is going to be the last play of the quarter.
If they decide to run it. Yes, they do. It's Lefevre again up the middle inside the 5, and they still haven't brought him down. And they're finally going to stop his forward momentum at about the 1-yard line.
Wow.
All right. Well, that buzzer tells us that we have played 3 here at Leo Aguilar Stadium in Los Fresnos. And at the end of 3, it is the Los Fresnos Falcons 17, your Weslaco East Wildcats 7.
Wow.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Leo Aguilar Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas. K-West bringing you exciting high school football. The Weslaco East Wildcats and the Los Fresnos Falcons. Weslaco East has the football at the 1-yard line. 2nd down and goal. Lefevre is going to keep it, but the Los Fresnos Falcons defense saying, you're not going to do it this time.
Well, you know, if you can't play defense, then you submarine underneath people. You don't take on blockers, and that's all they did is make a pile right there, and Richard didn't have anywhere to go. Not a bad technique, but if they bounce it outside, then you're wasted as a defensive player.
Power I formation. Richard under center. Tosses to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to cut it up, and he's going to be hit at the 2-yard line. He's going to be stopped just shy of the goal line.
Well, it's going to be 4th and about half a yard maybe. I'm trying to see where they're placing the sticks over there.
It's inside the 1, Coach.
Yeah, but he's got that stick right at the 1. And you've got a decision to make here. This would be Roy Pedraza time. This would be JC to the corner time. I don't know what the answer is.
Richard under center. Toss to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to cut it up. He's in the air, and he's across the goal line for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a 1-yard TD for Josh Gonzalez. What'd they say? He didn't make it? Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so there is a timeout called before the snap, and that was what you heard. That is why you heard the roar of the crowd. So that play was nullified because of the timeout that was called.
Well, that's fine. Los Fresnos use a timeout. It's still 4th and 1. You got in with the toss. Now, if I was Weslaco East, regardless of the play I ran, I might run motion right here just to get them to move and think something's going on. I'd also have Richard look in the B gap. And the B gap is the space between the guard and the tackle.
Yes.
Not the A gap.
Right.
There's going to be too many
There's
people,
gonna be
too
three
much
people,
going on
four
in the
people
B
there.
gap. So sometimes you can take that snap and hesitate or actually step back a half a step and get to the B gap. He might be big enough to kind of go over the top, but you sure don't want him hanging the ball out. So
Right.
It'll be interesting to see what they get called here. You know, there's been times in the past where you would just throw a little pop pass to the tight end down here because he's going to be uncovered. But
So here come the Wildcats. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Lefevre is your quarterback under center. You've got Derek Ibarra in the backfield. Snap, toss to Derek. Derek got some running room on the outside, and he goes into the end zone untouched.
so that 1-yard TD goes to Derek Ibarra. A little bit faster than Josh on the edge. And that's going to make us a ball game right here because with the Chucky kick, we'll be looking at 17-14.
So the Wildcats not able to produce any points in the first half. They got 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Chucky on to attempt the extra point. Gonzalez is your holder. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and the kick is good. So we've got 10:54 to go here in the ball game, and it is now the Los Fresnos Falcons 17 and your Weslaco East Wildcats 14. Another impressive drive from the Wildcats.
Okay, you're going to have to name that drive Richard Lefevre decides that we're going to score.
Right.
He had 2 or 3 huge runs on that drive, and a couple of times the determination you expect from a 2-3 year varsity letterman quarterback who knows that his best buddies, Josh is gone, Roy is gone, JC is gone, Freddie is gone. I want to win this. I'm sure most of those guys are here in the crowd tonight, and we have another ball game. You got to remember, last year this game was 16-15, and I want to say that East missed the field goal as time ran out. So these two teams have had some great battles over the last couple of years.
That they have, and so they're going to send back deep Nicolas Valencia along with J.J. Sanchez, and Chucky is on the kick. We also got Robert Ramirez back there to try to return this kick from Chucky.
Orlando Fuentes, number 10, the young man we know as Chucky.
So here we go. Kick is away. Looks like it's going to be Sanchez at the 5. Sanchez looking for some blocking. And he's going to be hit. The ball is loose. And the ball's on the ground. And it's picked up by the Wildcats.
Who is it? It's Jaime Bonuelos picking it up. Who caused the fumble, Joe? Was it number 4? Was it Ramsey?
I think it was Ramsey with the initial contact.
Now, we talked about the kicking game kind of letting them down in the first half. In the second half, it looks like they're going to give us an on-scoreboard replay. We ought to be able to see who caused that. It's kind of a long, but we've had extra points good. We've had good kick coverage. Our punts have been better. We got roughed. I think that might have been Ramsey. I really can't tell. He's back there jumping up and down, whoever it is.
If it wasn't Ramsey, it was Randy Cardosa.
Well, you know, when Vinny cuts this thing up, he'll be able to slow motion and give credit where credit is due.
But nonetheless, it's a Wildcat football, and the handoff is made to Gonzalez as they come out in the power I formation. He comes right behind the guard, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards, bringing up a second down situation for your Wildcats. They recovered the fumble at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. That play good for about 4 yards, maybe 5 inside the 10. Second down, power I formation, tosses to Gonzalez, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, you got movement over there on the left side, trying to get a head start on the jump, on the toss sweep. Well, what's happening over there is their defensive line is so wide that tackle over there is saying, you know what, I've got to really get out of my stance to get over there and get him, and you move before they say go, and that's going to cost you 5. So instead of being down inside there where you want to be, you're at 2nd and about 12, but you're in Chucky range here.
Yeah, that you are. But I think the Wildcats are thinking touchdown. So we got the stacked receivers to both sides. You got Gonzalez in the backfield with Lefevre. Lefevre takes the snap, hands it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for some running room, but not able to find much. Moves forward to pick up about 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, we're 3rd and 10. We're at 9:50 to go in the game. The Wildcats have to come out of here with points. Let's see what they do on 3rd and 10. Now, I got to believe they're not thinking 4-down territory.
No.
Unless it gets down to maybe 4th and a yard, and then you've got Richard Lefevre and the boys, and maybe you do it.
Yeah, still a lot of time on the clock with 9:33 to go. Lefevre, and we've got a flag again.
Ball start on the offense, number 70. The 5-yard penalty, may start down.
Well, I hate to say it, but on a running down, I understand the lineman getting a jump. On a passing down, they don't need to get a jump.
You got to wait for him.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, you're passive. You're sitting back. You're kind of catching the defender. You don't need to be in a hurry. Now they might be right on the edge of Chucky range. Here we go.
So we're needing some positive yards here. We've got 5 receivers on the field. Out to the top of your screen is Banuelos and Ramsey. Medrano to the bottom. It's up in the air into the direction of Banuelos, and Banuelos almost able to come down with this one, but great defensive coverage there from Isaiah Munoz, a name that we've heard a lot from the Falcons tonight.
Yeah, he tried to knife it in front of him. Richard kind of underthrew that a little bit on purpose. Jaime could not get it caught. It's going to be field goal by Orlando Fuentes. Mikey Gonzalez holding. I think that young man who just was involved in that play, Jaime Banuelos, will step in the middle formation and snap it.
So here we go. This is going to be a 34-yard field attempt from the right hash mark. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, plenty of leg, and it is no good. A little too much hook on it.
Yeah, he actually pulled that a little bit. He got some pressure from the field, and you get a fumble down in there. You want to believe you're coming out of there with points. They did not, but the field position is still good. The defense can help get it done. We're under 9 minutes to go in the game, and the Wildcats are finding ways to stay in this game. They just got to find a way to get over the hump.
Yeah, and put some more points on that board. You're absolutely correct, Coach. So here we go, over on downs to the Falcons. They'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Same offensive formation that we've seen so much tonight. It's going to be a handoff to Medina. Medina looking for some running room outside the right. He's got a lot of blockers out there, but the Wildcats able to fend off the blockers and allow him to get nowhere.
Yeah, they're doing a good job right now. The Wildcat defense runs well. Jacob Bond over there playing in now. He's been at nose guard. He's been it in. Just turned and worked his way down the line. Carlos Espinoza, amongst others, out there ready to make a play.
So here we go, Medina and Chapa. Handoff is to Medina. Medina looking for some running room. He's able to get through the middle to about the 25-yard line where he's met by a couple of Wildcats where he's brought down pretty hard, and that's about 6 yards for that young man.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and about 4 here. He took that ball and tried to cut it back drastically. They did a good job. They were hoping the linebacker would overflow. They did not, and it's going to be 3rd and 4.
Mikey Gonzalez with a big tackle there. So here we go. Chapa making a change on the line of scrimmage. Plenty of time on the play clock, that 13 seconds.
Looks like the Wildcats are going to man. They should be bringing pressure here.
You got Mikey Gonzalez coming off the right end. Chapa, pump and go. Ball is incomplete, but we're going to have a defensive pass interference.
He caught it, Joe.
Did he catch it?
I think so. They're moving the chains. They put the flag down, but he picked it right back up. You're going to bring pressure. The pressure's got to get there. They did not get there. They beat the man-to-man out there on the edge, and it's going to be 1st down at midfield.
Well, they're going to say he caught it, Coach. You're correct. I couldn't see from my angle whether or not he caught it.
Well, they're telling the coach it was pass interference on the defense, but he caught the ball. Well, you can't have both.
No, you can't. You're right. So they're going to take the play.
On the defense, number 7, that penalty flag. Result of play, 1st down.
Yeah, if it was holding on the receiver, that's a different call, and if he catches it, you can't have both of those either. So
a great grab there by the receiver for the Falcons, and the sticks will move once again. 1st and 10 from midfield, and we've got 7:29 to go here in the ball game. Chapa, the quarterback, looking over the defense. Takes a snap, quick pass to his right, and he's going to be met behind the line of scrimmage and dropped for a loss. The receiver of the Falcons not able to shake the tackles from the tackle of the defender of the Wildcat. That receiver is Adrian Alanis, and he's going to be dropped for 4-yard loss.
Is that Medrano out there made a nice play?
It could be. I couldn't tell his number, but nonetheless, 2nd down and 14. Chapa, quarterback draw, running through the middle of the Wildcat defense, has some running room, and is going to be dropped inside the 50 to about the 43-yard line. So he picks up a lot of those yards, maybe about 11, and bringing up a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, he that was a called play also. He stepped back, he hit his 3rd step, and took off, followed his fullback up the hole. And the inside linebackers for the Wildcats got stuck on blocks, couldn't get off. And this is a big down right here.
3rd and 3 for the Falcons. Handoff, no, Chapa's going to keep it. He's hit in the backfield, but he's able to elude the tackler, but he's not able to get back to the line of scrimmage because there is a host of Wildcats waiting for him and bringing him down, and that's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a great job out on the edge. I wish I could tell. The windows are starting to fog up here a little bit. I think that may have been Carlos Espinoza out there, but it looks like Ramsey's going back to receive this punt on 4th and about 4. Now, the front people on the Wildcats need to make sure that the Falcons don't do anything squirrely and try to fake a punt here.
J.J. Sanchez on to punt for the Falcons. Ramsey lined up at the 10-yard line. 5:40 to go in this ball game. Snap is away.
Wow.
Left-footed punter. It's a short one, and Ramsey's going to take it at the 4-yard line. He's getting away from a few of the Falcon tacklers, but he's out across the 10 to about the 12.
You know, Freddie Carnes came on the punt there and pushed the personal protector, I thought, almost right into the punt. It would have been crazy to block a punt with another person, but it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. We've got 5:24 to go in the ball game. Falcons on top of this one, 17-14. Wildcats with the football. We'll be right back with 4th quarter action right here from Leo Aguilar Stadium in Los Fresnos.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Leo Aguilar Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas. 17-14, the Wildcats are trailing, but they've got the ball 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Lefevre in the shotgun, dropping back, looking to his right. Now he's got no one. Looking to his left, then he's going to figure out that he's going to just throw it out of bounds because there is some great coverage there by the Los Fresnos defenders.
Well, he had a screen pass called, and what they're going to call right there is going to call the illegal receiver downfield is what they're going to call. He had a screen pass called. They jumped on either that or they're going to call defensive holding because the running back who was trying to get out in the screen may have been being held by the defense. Nope. Well, that's hard for the linemen. They think it's a screen pass. They think they can set and go get a guy, and then when the pass doesn't get thrown, then you get caught downfield. I believe that's also a loss of down, so that's a big penalty. No, it's not loss of down.
No, it's not loss of down. They're going to bring it back 5 yards inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. There's some discussion on the sideline over here.
Well, you go 2nd and 10, or you go 1st and 15. I believe that's the choice. And if I'm playing defense right now.
You're right, Coach.
Yeah.
They did decide to decline it, so 2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line.
Well, don't give East any extra downs. You know what I'm saying? As a defensive coach, okay, they only got 3 left now to get a 1st down.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 13-yard line. 5:16 to go in the ball game. Lefevre in at quarterback. Cardosa in the backfield. They're running those stack receivers on both sides. Man-to-man coverage is what it looks like from the Falcons. Lefevre, ball in the hands of Banuelos. Banuelos hit immediately at about the 18-yard line.
I think that's Almedrano there, Joe, number
yes.
20. He made about 6 or so yards. So you're at 3rd and 4, which is better down in distance than 1st and 15 or 2nd and 10. You're at a normal distance right here. Let's see what you got on 3rd and 4 with time running out, 4:45 left in the game.
So once again, we have the same offensive formation for the Wildcats, 2 receivers to both sides of the field. The only difference is they're not in stacks this time. You're going to have Cardosa in the backfield. He's going to stay to block. Ball is in the air in the direction of Banuelos, and that one is just a little too high and a little too hot to handle. Great defensive coverage there by the Falcons. Sebastian Gonzalez.
Yeah, the Wildcat staff thought maybe that Jaime Banuelos got contacted before the ball got there. Of course, they didn't get the call. You're 4th and 4, and you do have your punter on the field, but you have got to convert here.
So 4th down, Wildcats, stacked receivers on both sides. Lefevre takes the snap directly. He's going to run with the football. He's outside the 20 to about the 24-yard line, and that is enough for a Wildcat first down. Great job there by Lefevre. You talked about this, Coach, that Lefevre is going to decide whether or not he's going to run with it, and that time he did.
Well, you know, it's never really been Richard's team. You had JC, who was a 4-year letterman. You had Roy, who was a 4-year letterman. You know what? It's Richard's team now.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Lefevre looking to his right. Ball is in the air. Almost caught by Bones. I was
a little behind him, just a hair.
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't able to bring that back. That's why I said caught by Bones, but just went right through his hands. That would have been a great catch had he been able to haul that one in. But nonetheless, good effort there by Hector Sainz. So an incomplete pass will bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats. We've got 4:03 to go in the ball game. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 4:03.
Here comes
Blitz.
pressure.
Lefevre, the ball out of his hands in the direction of Ramsey, but a little short and behind him.
Well, he didn't have time. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but they brought pressure off the edge late, and Richard really didn't have time to do anything but what he did. But 3rd and 10, you've got to really think about getting half of it right here.
Yeah, at least half of it, because again, we are in 4-down territory. On the previous set of downs, they did go for it on 4th down because we're running out of time here in this ball game. We are exactly at the 4-minute mark here in this ball game. Your Wildcats down 17-14. Cardosa in the backfield with the quarterback, Lefevre. Snap. We've got flags.
Yeah, I think there's, timeout.
The Weslaco East Wildcats decided that they are going to take a timeout with 4 minutes to go in the ball game, down by 3. So we're going to take one with them. Wildcats trail 17-14 right here on K-West.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium in Los Fresnos, Texas. K-West bringing you an exciting one here tonight. The Falcons 17, your Wildcats 14. The Wildcats with the football. Lefevre, direction of Hector Sainz, and that looks like it is caught. If it's caught at the 36-yard line, that's going to move the chains again for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a big first down right there by Hector Bones, Trey Sainz. And if you look at it, they're playing straight-up man on Hector Sainz and Alvaro Medrano. Up top on Ramsey and Jaime Banuelos, they're playing a 2-on-3.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. This time Lefevre looks to his left. Ball is in the air, in and out of the hands of Banuelos. Just a little too high for him to handle.
Yeah, that Ramsey slipped deep there. But they have a man over the top on that side, Joe.
Yeah, that they do. But that would have been some positive yards for the Wildcats. But nonetheless, it is incomplete, bringing up a 2nd down and 10 situation for the Wildcats. And again, we're going to have that stack formation that we've seen here tonight from the Wildcats. They're going to keep Cardosa in the backfield. And Lefevre's going to keep it and run with the ball. He is hit by a couple of Falcons. And this time they brought in 2 guys just to take care of Lefevre.
Right. They played straight man across the board, 4 across. They moved the free safety, who has been over the top of Jaime Banuelos and Ramsey Vasquez, and moved him into the box and ran a spy, I believe, on Richard there. When Richard moved, he moved.
That they did. And so Richard's going to pick up 1 yard on that play, bringing up a 3rd down and 1. 3:08 in the ball game. The clock continues to move. Richard looking over to the sideline to see what exactly the offensive personnel for the Wildcats wants to do in this situation. Cardosa stays in the block. Lefevre throws the ball in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Jaime Banuelos, and that is going to bring up a 4th down for the Wildcats. Second time that we see 4th down on this drive.
Yeah, well, you've got to. You're under 3 minutes. You're down by 3 points. Maybe this is the time, even though it's 4th down, maybe this is the time you go for the big one. They're playing man across the board with a free safety, and there's the throw to Bones.
And it's out of the reach of Bones. That is incomplete, and the ball's going to go over on downs.
So with 2:49 to go, Los Fresnos will take over with a 3-point lead. Now they're going to want to burn clock. I don't think they care if they score or not, but they're going to need at least 1 first down, I believe, to burn the clock out.
Well, the Wildcats don't have any timeouts according to the scoreboard.
That sounds about right. You know, we've taken a couple in 3rd and 4th down situations to make sure everything is set up correctly. And
so they have no way of stopping the clock here in this game. So here come the Falcons. They're going to send out, of course, Chapa is their quarterback and Medina in at running back. Familiar duo in the backfield that we've seen all night long. So the Falcons take over 1st and 10 from their on the Wildcat side of the football field. They'll be resting on the 37-yard line. Quarterback Chapa takes it, hands it off to Medina. Medina trying to find some room to run, and he can't get outside. Ramsey slows him down, but guess who comes across the field to finish him off?
Jacob Bonda, number 55 again. Wait, somebody took a timeout. So East must have had one we didn't know about, and that sounds right.
Well, East took a timeout. Again, we're looking at the scoreboard, and they didn't show how many timeouts the Wildcats had available.
They have one.
The Wildcats still have 1 timeout left in this ball game.
That changes things a little bit because now you can stop it after 2nd down also, unless it's an incomplete pass. Then you don't want to worry about stopping it. But with 2:41 to go, down by 3, anything can happen. Now, I'm sure over there in that huddle, they're telling the Wildcat defenders, tackle the football. I'm sure they're telling the guys over here in maroon, squeeze the football. So anything can happen. They're still in their multiple receiver set over here, but they're condensing it down just a little bit.
So 2nd down and about 6 for the Falcons. Medina takes the handoff. Wildcats bringing them down behind the line of scrimmage. Fernando Garza doing a great job coming across and bringing them down. And Weslaco East takes their final timeout of the ball game with 2:35 to go in the ball game. They've dropped Medina for about a 2-yard loss. Now this is a 3rd and 8 situation for the Falcons.
Yeah, with the 40-second clock, though, you run the 3rd down if you don't get a first down. You've got 40 seconds to either kick a field goal, run one more play. So you can take 80 seconds off the clock. That's 1:20. There's only 2:35 left. You can take 1:20 off the clock without moving the ball at all. East no longer can take a timeout. Then you've got to play defense for 1:20. So really what you want is a first down. The first down ends the game.
Right. 3rd and 8. And in order to attempt a field goal, you've got to move it up at least 8 yards, because that'll make it about a 48-yard field goal. And I'm not sure if their field goal kicker has enough leg for a 48-yard field goal.
Well, I don't think you want to put a field goal kicker out there, get the ball blocked, have them run it back, and lose the game that way.
Right, and as you mentioned, you could run 80 seconds off this clock. So we'll see what the Falcons do. They're going to send a receiver in motion. Chapa fakes the handoff, looking for a receiver in the middle. Double coverage, and Ramsey with the interception. Ramsey intercepts this one at the 8-yard line.
See, I'm never going to second guess a coach. They work at this. They're out with it all day. But somebody's got to be talking to them about clock. You know, the NFL, the college have clock coaches. Coach, we can use this much time doing this. Right now, the 3-point lead is not what you're worried about. You need 2 minutes and 29 to disappear. Anything other than a touchdown happening, and you're either going into overtime or you won. So right now, we're talking 92 yards, but East has to legitimately get to the 20. So let's call it 72 yards to kick a field goal and tie the game up.
So they've got 5 receivers on the field, no one in the backfield with Lefevre. 2:29 to go in the ballgame. Snap is away. Lefevre pump fake, gets rid of the ball. He's got a receiver open, and it's just a little too far for Banuelos.
Well, you know, there's one that JC maybe would have caught. I hate to even speculate. Jaime's done a great job, but he's been playing both ways. I can't believe Los Fresnos let him sneak behind them, but that would have been a 92-yard touchdown, and that would have probably been it.
Just a little too far. Lefevre needed to put a little air under that one, allow Jaime to run underneath that one, but nonetheless, that's incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Lefevre quickly gets it to Ramsey. Ramsey trying to shake Candena, but he cannot, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. That young man has been playing an outstanding game here tonight, Candengo.
Yeah, I think Jaime being that open surprised Richard a little bit. You know, it's one of those deals where you're like, oh, he's so open, I don't want to miss him. And you overthrow him just a hair.
So, 2 minutes and counting. We are now officially under 2 minutes. 3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats. Stack receivers to both sides. You got one receiver in the slot. Pressure. Caught by Bones at the 25-yard line. The sticks are going to move. The clock will stop momentarily for the sticks to move. And we're probably going to see them spike the ball.
Yeah, I think I'd kill it right here and know that you still got downs left because they're going to start that clock pretty quickly. But he's not going to down it. He's going to run a play.
Lefevre looking for a receiver. He's got Ramsey. And it's caught. No, he drops it. Ramsey almost comes up with a spectacular catch there.
Well, you can't say that the Wildcats aren't giving it a run, and it's not over yet. You got 1:29 to go. It's 2nd and 10, and the clock stopped.
Ramsey looked like he had that ball for a split second there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. Stack receivers on both sides. One receiver in the slot. Lefevre is your quarterback. 1 minute, 29 seconds left in this ballgame. 2nd down and 10. Wildcats with the ball at their own 26-yard lines, and the Falcons are going to call a timeout.
Probably a good call by the Falcon coaches. We're getting a reminder in the press box that these guys played 17-16 a year ago in Weslaco. I thought it was 17-15, but yeah, 17-16. So these are two very evenly matched up teams the last couple of years. Right now, the Wildcats are beating Los Fresnos on the fade, the straight go pattern. I'm wondering if you take that second receiver and break him to the post, because that free safety is trying to pick a side. Well, send one of the receivers on the side away from the free safety down the middle of the field. That's an easier throw than the sideline throw.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just throwing it straight down the middle. I give you room to run under it. When I'm making that throw at the sideline, there's no margin for error over there.
And Lefevre's got a very strong arm. So here we go, 2nd down and 10 after the Los Fresnos Falcons timeout. 1:29 to go in the ball game. 2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line. And the Falcons are going to burn their final timeout of the ball game. Well, so they're going to use back-to-back timeouts here.
Yeah, but they changed up their coverage there. They had kind of like a man under 2 deep zone, because they have seen that we should have gotten beat on those last 2 plays. Von Willis was open on one. Ramsey was open on one. And they saw the same thing you and I saw. So let's back up a safety at 20 yards from the ball, and you don't ever run forward. You stay there till the receiver gets to you or the ball gets to you. You run backwards. You never run forward from there. But still, if I can break somebody to the post, there's got to be somebody in there.
So we'll see what the play call of the Wildcats is going to be made, because they're got 2nd and 10 from their own 26-yard line, 1:29 to go in the ball game. Again, that same formation where we got stacked receivers on both sides and one in the slot. Lefever's going to keep. He's got a lot of running room. He's outside the 35-40, and he's going to jump his way to about the 43-yard line. The clock again will stop momentarily for the movement of the chains. And the Wildcats are already lined up. They're going to bring in Ibarra to the slot position. And, Coach, you were talking about getting someone in the middle. This is the guy that you would like to see run down the middle because he's got a lot of speed. Clock is moving with 1:10. Lefever running with the football again. He's at almost midfield, dropped at the 49-yard line after about 6 yards. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of time to keep doing that. You're inside a minute now. The ball needs to get out of your hands because an incomplete pass will stop the clock.
I think what he's trying to do is draw some people in. Ramsey catches the ball. He's at the 40, and he's going to be brought down at the 39, and the clock is to stop with 45 seconds. Again, it stops for the moving of the chains, and the Wildcats doing a great job hustling to the line because they are already there. It looks like Lefever is going to spike this one. He is. He spikes the ball. 40 seconds left on the clock. Coach, this is a nail-biter.
Well, yeah, this is the kind of ball game that is fun to watch. You know, I've been the coach in a game like this. I've been the father of the quarterback in games like this. That's not as much fun as what we're having right now.
The clock stops. 2nd and 10 for the Wildcats from the Falcon 40-yard line. Again, they want to get to about the 20, so now they only need 20 yards. Because if they get to the 20, they're in Chucky range.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they'll make it because he's had a rough night, but at least you give yourself a chance to kick it.
Empty backfield for Lefever. Plenty of time. Looking in the middle. He's got a receiver. And it's intercepted. Candengo with the interception. It was a jump ball between Banuelos and Candengo came down with the interception.
Hey, you gave it a roll. You've proven to your kids that they can play football. You've got games left on your schedule. You know, you helped Los Fresnos a little bit, or they helped themselves move towards the playoffs. The Wildcats now have to regroup, get ready, come back, go on the road again next week, play the Harlingen Cardinals at Boga Stadium. But what an effort tonight by the Weslaco East Wildcats. I think most people thought they were going to come over here and get steamrolled. And there were times in the first half it didn't look like they could play offense. But you know what? I think they found an answer.
Well, they played well tonight, but more importantly, they played with a lot of heart.
Yes, and that's all you can ask for. You know, Coach Brigette will call them together after the game and look at them and say, you know what? I'm really proud of you guys.
They take a knee, and they're going to be content with letting the clock run out. We got 13 seconds left on the clock, and both teams are already lining up to shake hands. It was an exciting game here to the very end, Coach. The Wildcats at the 40-yard line with less than a minute to go with an opportunity to either tie this game or win this game. But that buzzer tells us that the game is officially over, and the Falcons are victorious. They hang on to beat the Wildcats with by the final score of 17-14. The Wildcats drop to 1-2 in district play.
Yeah, but, you know, once again, you need to win just enough games to make the playoffs. They proved a year ago it doesn't matter if you go in first or if you go in fourth. Getting in the playoffs is the secret.
You know, I've talked to Coach Burgett on many occasions, and that's exactly what you hear from him. You know, he doesn't have a lot of district titles that we can say of, but one thing that he is very proud of are the 3- and 4-round deep runs that he makes in the playoffs.
Right, and that's something you really work for and something you talk about. And, hey, let's be the last team standing. And so all of that's still on the paper.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the game is final from Leo Aguilar Stadium here in Los Fresnos. It was a nail-biter. It was a great game. Wildcats come up a little bit short, losing this one 17-14. Once again, for K-West, I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell, and of course, our cameraman extraordinaire, Vinny Berry, bidding you guys a very good night. We'll see you next week from Bogus Stadium in Harlingen as your Weslaco East Wildcats take on the Harlingen Cardinals.
Good night, everybody.